So we're ready if you are.
Well, we're starting a little late today because of the weather. It was nice all day today except this morning, and I figure as soon as we get ready to do anything, the weather gets bad. That, as they say, is the way things are. Announcements. All kinds of stuff coming to Winnsboro. Our next event at the Bowery Stage is the first concert of the Sunday Classical Series, which is September 4th, which is obviously a Sunday. September 3rd is the Classic Car Cruise in, so if you like classic cars, Market Street, Broadway, and Franklin will all be closed so that we can, the farmer's market will be here in the morning, and that usually runs, the classic car thing doesn't run much afternoon, so they'll run concurrently. But there'll be lots of cars at the depot parking lot and on Franklin and on Broadway. So you come and look at the cars. Hopefully the weather will be nice. The September 4th concerts will feature the Mid-Texas Symphony Chamber Players. I won't mention all their names, but there's a clarinetist, 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. So it's 5 folks, and they're going to be doing some Puccini, and I forget, and I know they're going to do the clarinet quintet, a clarinet quintet by Brahms, and there's one other item on the program. I don't have that before me. So that's that. Then following that will be Sarah McQuaid. Sarah McQuaid is a young lady who plays guitar and sings. And that's on the 10th of September, which is the following Saturday night. And then on September 19th, which is a Monday night, we'll have our next Monday Night Live here at downtown Winnsboro from 5 to whenever the sun goes down. And we will have a plethora of local talent at that. Kevin Tinney will be performing, Chase Glover, Tyler Linnaeus, and Sabrina, his girlfriend, co-singer.
What was that last name?
Tyler Linnaeus.
No, after that.
Sabrina, I don't know Sabrina's last name. She sings with Tyler. And let's see who else. Probably one or two other people will join in. They'll play continuously. Kevin and Chase usually play together, and obviously Tyler and Sabrina play together. And I think there's one other, and that they'll often join in and have jam sessions. So that'll be fun. That's on the 19th, and then in October 9th will be the second of the classical series on Sunday, and a fellow named Jared Schwartz, who sings. He's a basso opera singer, and a gal named Mary Dibburn will be playing the piano, and they'll be doing an assortment of musical comedy stuff and other songs. Stuff from Fiddler on the Roof, South Pacific, Man from La Mancha, and other stuff. So that's coming up on October 9th. And then, one more September thing. September 16th, a fellow named Verlin Thompson will be here on the Bowery Stage. So that's coming. That's what's coming. Always exciting stuff going on the Bowery Stage and on the Bowery. The Women of Winnsboro Cookbook has been reprinted. The last one was the benefit of the Gilbert Memorial Library. This one benefits the classical music series at the Winnsboro Center for the Arts. So it costs us $25. It's been updated. They added about 60 recipes to it over the last version of it. It costs us $25. All of that goes to the Art Center. I don't get any commission on selling it. I just sell it because I happen to like
Good,
arts.
because you're a good guy.
I'm a good guy because I'm a good guy. I love my Nutcracker. My Nutcracker, sing to me if you want. And that's the other news. The space that the Art and Espresso used to occupy has been leased by a gentleman who has some property here locally, but he's basically out of the Dallas area. And he's going to call his restaurant The Rooster, and it will be a kind of American, French, New Orleans cuisine. He's putting a full kitchen in there, so he'll be able to have a grill, which they don't have now. And so we're looking forward to that. He hopes to open on the 1st of October.
The Rooster.
The Rooster. And so we'll have another choice of dining. In case you're unaware of it, the Brewbakers is under new management now. James Head is now the owner. They have breakfast there 7 days a week from 6 to 10. It is an excellent breakfast, and the prices are very reasonable. He's also starting to add to the lunch and evening menu, including putting steak on it. So it's going to be, once he gets it all fixed up the way he likes it, I think it's going to be a really good addition to downtown as far as choices for eating. And that's it. That's all the announcements I got. If you have any announcements about music at the Quintessential Country Church, you can do that now or wait till you're up here at the podium.
It's Saturday night.
Saturday night.
6:30.
6:30. Okay. And anyone can come. You don't have to bring an instrument, right? You can come and
That's
listen, or bring an instrument. You can bribe the MC and play, right?
Yeah.
No bribes necessary. Well, this is a book called The Family Book of Best Loved Poems, edited by David L. George, published by Doubleday in 1952. And I don't know how they decide which are best loved and which are not best loved. But I've just opened this up at random. Even though it's Doubleday, I opened it at random. But Doubleday doesn't get mad at me. And I got the section on nature. And right in front of me is Under the Greenwood Tree by some guy named Willie Shakespeare. I've never read this. And of course it's in Shakespearean English, so you'll have to pardon me if the words don't come out right. Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and tune his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather. Who doth ambition shun, and loves to live I the sun, seeking the food he eats, and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather. Short but sweet from Willie there.
Willie had a way with words.
He did do that. I won't read the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam here because it's quite long and we don't have all night. However, here's a poem called Leisure. This is from the section called Contemplation, and it's by W.H. Davies. I don't know if you know who that is. I do not. Leisure, okay. What is this life if, full of care, we have no time to stand and stare? No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep's or cows. No time to see when woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass. no time to see in broad daylight, streams full of stars like stars at night. No time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet, how they can dance. No time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this, if, full of care, we have no time to stand and stare. Oh, that's a nice little poem. I like that. These are too long. I can't read any of these. Too long. Maybe I can find a short one on humor and satire here. Well, where's Casey at the bat? We did that a couple of months ago. I thought we'd do that again. Favorite poems about frontier days. All right, you probably heard this before. This is what the folk song Jesse James is based on. It was written by Mr. Anonymous, who you probably heard of before. And it's called Jesse James. That's the name of the poem.
I am familiar with the author.
Of Anonymous, yeah. It was on a Wednesday night. The moon was shining bright. They robbed the Glendale train. You've heard this before, a version of this. And the people, they did say, for many miles away, 'twas the outlaws Frank and Jesse James. Jesse had a wife to mourn all her life. The children, they were brave. 'Twas a dirty little coward shot Mr. Howard and laid Jesse James in his grave. It was Robert Ford, the dirty little coward. I wonder how he does feel. For he ate of Jesse's bread and he slept in Jesse's bed. Then he laid Jesse James in his grave. It was his brother Frank that robbed the Gallatin Bank and carried the money from the town. It was in this very place that they had a little race, for they shot Captain Sheets to the ground. They went to the crossing not very far from there, and there they did the same. And the agent on his knees, he delivered up the keys to the outlaws, Frank and Jesse James. It was on a Saturday night. Jesse was at home, talking to his family brave, when the thief and the coward, little Robert Ford, laid Jesse James in his grave. How people held their breath when they heard of Jesse's death, and wondered how he ever came to die. 'Twas one of the gang, dirty Robert Ford, that shot Jesse James on the sly. Jesse went to his rest with his hand on his breast. The devil will be upon his knee. He was born one day in the county of Clay and came from a solitary race. That's enough for one night. Ta-da!
Yeah, that was the famous poem. I've heard that poem sung many times.
Well, I've heard not all the words, but pieces of it I've heard also.
Yeah, but used to Brother Oswald, who was on Roy Acuff's band, he used to sing that exact song on the Grand Ole Opry often.
Really?
Yeah. If you would hold this, I'll...
I think I can do that. But I don't think I can hold this and shoot pictures at the same time.
Well, you don't have to shoot my picture.
Your picture's been taken enough.
Yeah. But just make sure that, you don't...
No, your head is not cut off.
This is your Zoom if you need to, do that.
I'm going to move over to your seat so I can get a better angle on this thing. Boy, you look like you actually wrote something, Joe Dan.
You didn't get my email, I guess.
No, I didn't.
You were on the list, I think. I indicate, I said I was going to be reading. This is the poem. I'm still working on it. Actually, do you remember me buying the little mockingbird vase?
Mm-hmm.
And I printed the poem out as it then was on account of a parchment paper and rolled it up and put it in that little holder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been in my office ever since. I have recently been trying to improve. You know, I've been working on the poem. And I've changed the title, actually. Anyway, it's now called To Kill a Mockingbird, requisite : Requiem and Redemption. And I have an explanatory line saying, by Joe Dan Boyd, based on a never-to-be-forgotten childhood event of his and Brother Tommy's life in Wood County, Texas. And the poem goes, as it now is, the current version of it is this way. A chinaberry tree canopy, glossy in full leaf, oval-shaped, thinly veined, sharply tipped, serrated leaves, each like the blade of a knife, yet feathery soft, satiny, gently wind-whipped, dense and thick as dark sand in a summer whirlwind. The gathered leaves yielded welcome song and shade. Like a giant orb, a complete coverlet of green obscuring the tree's branches, entirely overlaid. A hushed rustle of soft, leafy sound, as into that dark hole of absent light, fluttering on unexpected wings of morning, came the lone mockingbird in solitary flight. Vanishing into the thick cover of lush leaf, the bird came to rest somewhere inside. No sound betrayed its lonely presence. There was everywhere, yet nowhere to hide. The bird neither saw nor sensed the hunter, a mere boy, armed with stone and sling, the smooth pebble powered by rubber strands, broke the bird's stout heart, death's instant sting. The hunter's shock was sudden and sharp, filled with remorse, guilt, and intense grief, as he retrieved the fallen, innocent bird. Flowing tears were his only source of relief. With the help of his brother, plans took shape to find a suitable mourning box and a resting site, soon reserved a small spot under the tree, a hole to fill with prey and a prayer contrite, fallen to fresh earth, now covering the bird, its song eternally silenced, flight forever stilled. But with the spoken words of repentance, perhaps, the hunter's redemption may be divinely willed. And to conclude with a paragraph from How to Read a Poem, subtitled And Fall in Love with Poetry by Edward Hirsch. I now begin. And so it is with Elizabeth Bishop. And here we can see that the two refrain lines are working in tandem and counterpoint, even as the speaker must acknowledge that the losses are cutting deeper and deeper, She also keeps insisting that they are not disastrous. In this way, the poet of understatement wittily resists the feeling of encroaching catastrophe. To modify something that Ezra Pound once said about a villanelle by Ernest Dowson, it seems to me that the losses are the emotional truth in this poem, which the intellect, though its various gyrations, struggles in vain to escape. I should have actually said through its various gyrations. And that is the paragraph for today.
Okay. That was very good. I enjoyed your poem in its current form.
Second.
I enjoyed your poem
I
in its
heard that.
current.
I thought you said something like that. I said thank you.
Oh.
And
Shall I-
I'm still working on it.
Shall I
I
stop
may
the-
be done with it. I may not.
Am I stop the recording now?
Yeah.